This is more so for the director. Anonymous is based on the Greek classical, the Odyssey. How did this play kind of come about and, deciding to kind of mix modern elements and reimagine the Odyssey?
So this play was written by playwright Naomi Izuka as a commission through the Children's Theater Company in Minneapolis about 10 years ago. And they're a major theater for young audience company, and Naomi Izuka is a playwright. And I'm not sure where the impetus came from, but it is interesting that this play the issues that come up in this play, the social, political issues from 10 years ago are still very prevalent today because it is the Odyssey, but framed through the lens of a young refugee boy's journey. And I know she worked closely with the Children's Theater Company to develop the piece. And yeah, so I'm not sure.
So this is a question for all three of y'all. What drew y'all to this play? Like, what called to you? What did you like about it? That it's just like, I want to sign up and do this.
I was really excited about this play because it is sort of a strange piece. So it is the Odyssey, so we have an epic tale, and it has issues of social relevancy. And it is for young people, and I love that.
I like this play because I love quests and I love someone going on an epic journey. And before I had read the play, the only scene that I knew was my callback scene, which I thought was hilarious, and it just made me so excited for the whole script.
The thing that really drew me to Anon, and something that I think is really interesting about him, and something that I sort of find in myself a lot, is sort of the journey that we see him go on. I think Anon really starts in a position where he's very sort of confused as to who he is and where he comes from and sort of what he needs to do to get back to who he was, and sort of seeing a young person struggle with that and sort of go on that journey and seeing the position that they end up in by the end of the story is something that really spoke to me and something that I'm really excited and interested to show to sort of like young audiences and sort of young kids that are coming to see the show.
So for you played Callisto. She kind of messed things up for Odysseus in the Odyssey. Like, kind of, what do you like about her and this modern reimagining of her, and just getting fun with the character and all the things she do, so she kind of causes calamity a little?
I like Callista because she is 13, and so she's a similar age to sort of the target audience of this, and so she reflects a lot of people that they'll know in real life, and also her views, being a senator's daughter, also sort of reflect a lot of people, and I think that some of her views stem from fear and sort of the not knowing, because she's been sort of captivated in her luxury gated community. And I think that even though Anon encounters a lot of villains in this play, I think that Callista is not a villain, which I like about her. She's just not what's right for Anon at this point in his life.
That's really interesting. So I just have my last three questions. The theme of Anonymous is to find quote unquote home. What does that mean in today's landscape?
That's a great question. I think home is tricky for a lot of people because I think as you grow older, home changes, and sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Sorry, can you clarify today's landscape, like socially or politically, or?
Just both. Because social issues have become so wrapped up in politics.
Yeah. I think home is so tricky, and searching for home is tricky because of rapidly shifting politics, and people are faced with what they understand as home being shifted by violence or prejudice or bigotry, and so that is a big question. And what does it mean to? Do you search for the home you used to have? Do you search to make a new home? Yeah, I think it's a.
Or is family your home where your family is?
Right, yeah, and for some people, family's the dangerous part. And so, yeah, I think home is always shifting as we age, and I think we live that question.
I think something interesting about the concept of home is that people oftentimes have an idea of what home is for themselves, and then they also try to have an idea of what home should be for someone else. And I think that it's not really someone's place to decide what home is for someone else, and I think that people should be able to live anywhere that they want to live. But I think that home is an interesting topic because it does change throughout your life usually. And I mean, I've only lived in one city throughout my entire life, but it is sometimes where the bed is, but sometimes where the heart is.
I think the majority of the conflict in this play is sort of derived from someone trying to find their home, and sort of the conflicts that arise between like expectations of home and the search for home and sort of being denied your home by other people. So in regards to what that says about like our modern society and things that we're facing today, I mean, there's certainly a lot to be said, but I don't know if I could necessarily offer any like one specific example or sort of like motivation as to what it means exactly right now, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So, what were some difficult aspects for y'all with bringing this play to life?
I would say the idea, representation, not the idea, a representation, is difficult because this is a play, and so we have 12 actors, and this play has a chorus of refugees, and that's how it's written in the script. And they're from all over the world, and so how within a cast of 12 do you represent all parts of the world, and then thinking about the weight of representing through performance identities of displaced people. So yeah, there's a lot of weight to this script and these characters, and and there's a fine line to walk with that.
Yeah, I would also say that. Especially, I play an American, but I'm also in the chorus of refugees, and doing this play in America and being white, how does that read to the audience, and how am I serving the script and doing it justice of like the beauty of all of these cultures coming to life in the poetry.
I think another really big challenge for this play was sort of bringing these larger-than-life characters to life on stage. This play, I feel like the characters in it demand so much from us, since they are like quite literally gods and like characters from like centuries-old mythology, and sort of getting to like embody that and sort of rising to the challenge of that has been a very big challenge so far, but a very good one.
So, if y'all could like recreate any other classic Greek story, or if you could star or play any character, like which one would you choose? I personally like Agamemnon.
I have to think. I have no idea. I'm really trying to remember my Greeks in this moment.
I have one.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I really like the story of Orpheus, because I'm really big into comic books, and there's this series by Neil Gaiman from the 90s called The Sandman, and a huge arc in that is like the story of Orpheus, and sort of Orpheus being the main character, Dream's son, and his journey to be reunited with his wife, and sort of his journey into the underworld is like an incredibly epic and like brutally haunting story, and seeing that on stage I think would be incredible. So that's my thing.
You could also choose someone you want to play, maybe like a god or goddess.
I want to be Aphrodite or Dionysus. I want to be all of them.
Can I be Dionysus too?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'd like to be the god of the party.
Okay.